All right, what is up, everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're going to be recapping last night's Team USA game. Team USA played their first exhibition game. They played against Canada last night in Vegas. I'm going to recap it, talk about what we saw from their debut, basically, last night, and what things can go forward, what things are going to look like going forward, and stuff like that here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. Join the membership. If you want to learn more about the membership, there's a video on my channel explaining all of it. You can go back and watch that. Link to my Twitter, TikTok, stuff like that in the description down below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So Team USA ended up playing their first exhibition game last night against Vegas, and they ended up getting the win, 86-74. I think was the final score. I just had it in front of me and it's gone now. I don't know why, but yeah, Team USA played their first game, and a lot of interesting things. I want to talk about early so far. The way they came out the game was not amazing. Obviously, they came out, they only had 14 points in the first quarter. Kind of sluggish a little bit. You know, it was their first time really playing a full game, a real game against each other, well, with each other. And yeah, just a lot of I feel like there's a lot of settling early. A lot of just Steph or Booker or something just settling for threes. They were trying to get into the paint with Joel Embiid, but Joel Embiid was not having a great game to start. Dwight Powell was locking him up. And yeah, they just weren't really fully locked in, you know. But I think the bench for Team USA came out, and they were the real deciding factors of the game. Anthony Edwards, who, after saying, I'm the number one option, I'm going to have to find a way to fit around me, and everyone thought he was crazy, he honestly, you could make an argument he was the best player last night for Team USA. Led the game with 13 points. He was really, really aggressive. You know, he was perfectly at times where it's just like, all right, we haven't scored in like a couple plays. We need a bucket. Give me the ball and let me find something. And he was doing it from the mid range, from the getting to the rim, being aggressive, putting pressure on the rim, threes. Like he was just being aggressive out there. You know, something that Team USA kind of needed, especially after the starters were kind of lackadaisical. You want to say, but Ant came in really aggressive, and now he might be a starter down the line. But we're talking more about that in a minute. Anthony Davis as well. The Anthonys both dominated. Anthony Davis had an amazing game, 10, 11. I think he had like 4 or 5 blocks in this game. He was also being really aggressive down the rim, defensively, protecting the paint, then offensively, of course, just being a rim presence, interior presence, which is what the USA is going to have a big advantage of over a lot of the teams. The rim presence of Anthony Davis, Joel, Bam Adebayo, like that 3-man, big man group is just amazing. You know, and AD really dominated a lot last night. Jason Tatum, I like what I saw from him. He was being really aggressive as well, coming down, making the right plays, getting to the bucket when they need him to, when a smaller guy was on him. I think the bench for Team USA really was great. Tyrese Halliburton as well. A lot of people talk about Tyrese Halliburton, kind of like, why is he on Team USA over a lot of the people? But he was really good. And I think he's really going to fit in Team USA. Like, they need a guy like Tyrese Halliburton. He's a guy that's just going to push the pace, a pass first guy. He doesn't really care about getting his. You know, he'll let everybody else do his thing, kind of just being the organizer of everybody. And that's what you saw last night. You know, he was giving a lot of effort defensively as well, and offensively, just pushing the pace, pushing the tempo, finding Bam and AD, and finding the shooters on the wing, like doing all the things that Tyrese Halliburton does. And I think he led the team in plus minus, like assists, steals. Like he was doing all the little things really, really well. So Tyrese been good. But yeah, the bench for Team USA really came in and played well. The starting lineup was Devin Booker, Drew Holiday, Steph, Braun, and Joel. And yeah, D-Book hit a couple shots. Drew Holiday was making a lot of winning plays. Steph hit a couple shots. LeBron was out there doing LeBron. You know, he's kind of being more of a facilitator. And then Joel Embiid didn't really do much. He fouled out in 12 minutes. So interesting debut for Joel Embiid. The AD was playing really well. Bam did some solid things, even though he missed a lot of free throws. Bam did solid. And yeah, Team USA, yeah, they came out. They got the W over Canada. You know, they really started to lock in defensively. I feel like that was a big turning point. The rim, again, the interior presence, Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo, like that interior presence was just amazing. And then on the perimeter, they started to lock in. Tyrese Halliburton got a lot of steals. Anthony Edwards was determined on the defensive end, and then it just led to easy opportunity on the other end of offense, especially near the end of that third quarter where they really started to build the lead up. Tyrese Halliburton pushing the pace, AD doing his thing, Anthony Edwards hitting his shots. You know, like it just really started to get it going. Eventually, they ended up getting the win. Going forward, you know, I think it's gonna get very scary for other teams because you think about it. I didn't even think about this until after the game where I like thought and I saw some people saying it like, this is the worst they're gonna look. Like this is their first game together. There's a lot of turnovers. They definitely got to clean up the turnovers. I feel like the ball was slippery or something. Like every possession, someone was losing the ball, or didn't have full control of the ball. Like that was very weird. They had a lot of turnovers, a lot of miscommunication last night. Yet they still looked dominant at certain points in the game. So if this is the worst they're gonna look, and they didn't have Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant didn't play, which is probably who might be their third or fourth best player. And a guy that's going to come in, he's going to fit easily. He's not going to really take the ball out of anybody's hands. Like, without Kevin Durant, and this being the worst they're ever going to look, still got a cool 15-point win. So having that, like, seeing that, that just says all about what this Olympic squad and what this team is eventually going to look like. When LeBron and Steph really get into it. Because LeBron and Steph honestly didn't really do much. Like Steph hit a couple shots, but LeBron wasn't really on it, until at certain points in the game he was. But LeBron wasn't really on it yet. You definitely tell he wasn't fully ready yet. Jason Tatum just got there. They didn't even have their full team. Derek White wasn't even there. So like that, and Joel Embiid hasn't really established himself yet. So, and you eventually think, he's gonna find a way some way. But thinking of potential lineups and stuff, I really love the young guys. The young guys are really dominant. Ant, Tatum, and Tyrese, the young boys, were out there and they really were like determined and put the pressure on Canada. So I think having those guys, I think Tyrese is gonna play a lot more than people think he's gonna play. Tyrese, especially if he's, controlling the ball and pushing the pace and setting everybody up. I think he's going to play a lot more. Anthony Edwards might become a starter down the line. I won't be surprised if down the line, if Anthony Edwards keeps playing like this, down the line eventually, Steve Kerr's going to have to kind of be forced to put him in the starting lineup because the way he's been aggressive, the way his scoring has come out, like, of course, obviously you want a lot of role players, which is why you want to start guys like Jrue Holiday and stuff to kind of be connecting pieces. But if Anthony Edwards is out there being your leading scorer, and being, dominant and being aggressive and putting points on the board when you really need it, he's going to have to become a starter eventually. And Anthony Davis might get a lot of minutes as well. And also, the good thing about this team is that they can kind of mismatch. Like, if you're playing a big team, like, say you play France and you're playing Wemby and Rudy, you can start AD and Joel together. Like, there's no big problem there. Like, AD and Joel can coexist on the court and start together for more into your presence, And if you're starting a team that likes to go 5 out and stuff, AD can start. You could put LeBron at that 4, and then put Ant, Steph, like Devin. Like, you could just do so many different things, And Tatum out there as well. You could put him in there as like a point forward when LeBron's on the bench. Like, there's so many different combinations and different lineups. But from what I saw yesterday, the young lineup works. The lineup of Tyrese and Ant with Tatum. I love those 3 out there together. Steph and LeBron together, of course, needs to be a lineup together. Anthony Davis at the 5 by himself could be a lineup, but then also AD and Bam next to each other, or AD and Joel next to each other, I think could do wonders. There's so many. This team is so great. Like, this should be a team that dominates throughout the tournament. And we saw a glimpse of it last night, and it looked really, really fun. And I can't wait to see how Kevin Durant, I keep forgetting Kevin Durant's a part of this team, can incorporate himself into this line. Because if Kevin Durant starts incorporating himself and he gets going, it's gonna be a long day for some other teams. But I'm very excited for it. They got a couple of, I think their next exhibition game is Monday at noon. They play against, I can't remember who they play against right now. But they play at noon on Monday. And that's going to be another one I'm very excited to watch. But yeah, it's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.